All right, what up, guys? So I've had a lot of people asking me, like, why certain things are the way they are on the poison rogue, the barrage one. So I figured I'd just make a video, just like deep delving into why I've made all the decisions and why I think my poison rogue is probably the best. I mean, don't get me wrong, there might be somebody out there who's just like a little bit better at Sudoku than me. So, but just go through and like label why I made everything here, and we're at the training dummies and stuff, so we don't have to like I don't know, I want to do this all in one take, so we're just going to do it. And what we're going to do is we're going to start with I'm going to go to my inventory first and go to each item that I have equipped, and we're going to go down and explain why that is. And if there's like something that needs to go to like the skill tree, or we need to go to the Paragon board, we'll go there. And then after I have the equipped items, we'll go to the Paragon board, and we'll just like skip over things that we've already gone over until we just go through pretty much everything. Hopefully I don't miss anything. My boyo's back here watching Mickey Mouse, so you might hear him. Alright, so let's go to the inventory first. Of course, the thing that holds the entire build together is Andariel's Visage. All stats is nice, gives you a little bit of damage, and attack speed, all that type of stuff. I think it gives attack speed with Dex, right? No, it's dodge chance. Sorry, no attack speed, dodge chance. Life on hit is super important. That's pretty much how we stay alive with the build, because usually we'll just out heal. Attack speed is attack speed is where you want to put as much of your like master working on. I got one of them on all stats, but I got two of them on attack speed, so that was good enough for me. Having really fast attack speed in this build, you pretty much just machine gun everything down. Poison resistance, that doesn't matter. And the lucky hit, 20% chance to trigger a poison nova. That does, I'd say, like 35% of the damage in the build. Poison imbuement being the other. And there's one thing I don't think a lot of people know about rapid fire and barrage both. Each individual arrow has its own critical strike chance and its own lucky hit chance. So if you go up on something, right, and you shotgun it, and it gets hit with, let's say like 7 or 8 arrows, like it has 7 or 8 different lucky hit chances and critical strike chances, which is why like you'll pretty much always trigger the poison explosion. This is something I don't think a lot of people know, and the only reason I know is because back in season 1 I played a lot of PvP with the rapid fire road. Go here on rapid fire. Each subsequent arrow from rapid fire has 5% increased critical strike. So, because of that, that implies that each arrow has its own stats, right? It's pretty much your first arrow, 25% critical strike chance, then 30% chance. So Barrage is I'm gonna presume the same way, considering I only have 30. I have as much lucky hit chance on my gear as I can, and only at 37%. And the Poison Nova triggers 20% chance. So I have to hit my 30% chance and then hit my 20% chance. But each time it's going to cause this like explosion, right? So each individual arrow, which is the farther you get away, the less likely it happens. But you get right up on them and you shotgun them. There you go. Okay. So now that that part's out of the way. Of course, Tyrell's Might. This has nothing to do with anything other than tons of damage reduction, gets our resistance to all elements up, and movement speed's pretty cool. You want as much on damage reduction as you can get on this. I got 2 on damage reduction, 1 on resist all, and I just couldn't be bothered to do anything else. My kiddo's making a mess in his little play area. Alright, Fist of Fate. So, critical strike chance does not matter. You can have your critical strike chance be 0%, 0.1. That part doesn't matter because you cannot get critical strikes with DOT from poison. So that part doesn't matter, but attack speed matters. You want your lucky hit chance as high as possible to try to proc everything in the build that has LHC, which is going to be a ton of stuff. Then the lucky hit to crowd control, you want that to be as high as possible as well. That one, since you do proc lucky hits a lot, like you just saw with the poison from the helmet. But there is, where is it? Each different crowd control effect on an enemy causes damage. I can't remember what does it. We'll definitely come across it though. It is. You think I would just remember? we'll stumble upon it. But there's something that makes you do damage for each crowd control effect on an enemy. And I'm just, for some reason, blanking. Oh, it's Creeping Death. I'm an idiot. It's literally like right below the Fists of Fate. Creeping Death. You deal 40 times increased damage over time for each different crowd control effect. Since it's just procs random CCs on people. That's where it's at. And then, of course, you want your legendary affix to be as high as possible. I've been looking for like a 295 or a 300%. But that with a high attack speed and a high LHC, you're looking at like 15, 20 billion gold at least. So it's like, I don't know if it's worth all that. All right, down to the pants. We got Umbrus on here. In my opinion, you want to have max GA, or not max GA, oh my god, can I English? GA on your armor, that way you don't have to worry about rolling anything on the masterworking on it for this particular build. And then Dex, max life, second wind, which will give you a barrier for conceded. So second wind is, if I can remember where it is on the thing, right here, right? Okay, yeah. Every 100 energy you spend grants 75% of your max life as a barrier for 3 seconds. So you want that to go with our conceded on our amulet. And then up to, or chance to freeze just gives us an extra percentile chance, because like the gloves could do it, but since it procs random crowd control effects, we want a chance to freeze because we run Frigid Fate, or Frigid Finesse, sorry, Frigid Finesse, which is the thing that you'll do damage to chilled and frozen enemies. And then concussive strikes on the boots. You could run Frostbitten if you want to. I prefer this because it gives a lucky hit chance to daze, and then you deal extra damage to daze enemies. But Frostbitten would also work if you wanted to do that instead. I have Smoke Grenade cooldown. You could put like a chance to whatever if you wanted to, but having a cooldown on my Smoke Grenade's cool because Smoke Grenade staggers bosses when you throw it at them, and also makes our little trap thingy. And then movement speed for Dark Shroud. And then we just want movement speed, max life, dex. That stuff's pretty explanatory. You could get rid of movement speed if you wanted to, but I hate being a turtle, so I put movement speed on my boots. You could put dodge chance or something if you wanted to. I just prefer not to. And then the bow, Creeping Death, which we've kind of already explained here. You want to have a bunch of different crowd control stuff so that if somebody's got like 3-4 crowd control effects on them, you kind of just fuck them up. And DOT, of course, all of your poison stuff's DOT. And then we have Dexterity, Max Life, DOT. Obviously, Dex gives you damage. DOT gives you damage with poison. Max Life makes you not die. You know, chance for Barrage to cast twice, and the damage per Dark Shroud Shadow, which is the damage per Dark Shroud is pretty gnarly when you always pretty much have 5. You just always have 800% damage around there. And then obviously we put rubies in the step up here. You could do emeralds if you wanted to, but I prefer not to die. So I prefer to have the, 9, 18, 27. Why can't I think 35 or 36, 45%, whatever the fuck. I'm bad at math. Then we have diamonds in the bow and the daggers, right? The reason for that is, and the reason why we have ultimate damage in general, so this was like one of them, I think 2 or 3 people asked this, is no witnesses. I tried to explain it to them, and one guy didn't really get what I'm going on here, but your ultimate skills gain 10% increased damage from your damage with ultimate bonus. That part doesn't matter because the ultimate skill in this build does, like, not nothing, but not a whole lot, right? It's the applying that bonus to all skills for 10 seconds after you cast your ultimate. So you cast an ultimate, and then right now a current bonus is 39% multiplicative. So all skills will get essentially 40% extra damage. Multiplicative, which is a big deal for damage. And the reason that we choose Shadow Clone, this is something that somebody else didn't catch. It's not that the Shadow Clone's gonna, it says 80% of my damage, but it doesn't have poison imbue or the helmet, so that part doesn't really matter, right? It's the fact that it makes you unstoppable since we don't run Shadow Step. Some people use Death Trap, and I do believe with Death Trap, if you Death Trap this, it'll pull enemies into it, but this will just grant us unstoppable, right? Over back to here. All the same stuff on here with branching volleys. Of course, that'll just make our barrage arrows ricochet more. And then Umbercrux, which is, somebody else said, is Umbercrux good now? And I'm like, yeah, it's really good. So it doing 20% effective damage is 20% is not nothing, right? But the big thing is that the effect is treated as a trap skill, which will help to trigger anything that cares about traps, and particularly deadly ambush. So you deal more critical strike damage to enemies affected by your trap skills. I just said critical strike damage doesn't matter with DOT, but it's not like nothing, right? Like, so the poison's not going to do anything, but I don't know. I'm trying to figure out words in my brain right now. You still do damage from like your direct hits with your arrows, so it just helps clear out mobs and stuff real easy. Plus, I don't know what it is about the Umbercrux, but it just kind of, when you put it down, it just kind of bangs, you know? Ring of Starless Skies. Core skills doesn't matter. We don't even put all of our points into core skills on here. Critical strike chance doesn't matter. It's pretty much just attack speed and lucky hit chance. I have 1 on attack speed, 2 on lucky hit chance, so I did pretty good on this one. The ring, attack speed, LHC, dex, that stuff's pretty self-explanatory. You want your poison of you to last for +2 casts, and then damage per dark shroud shadow. And then on the amulet, we put high velocity on here to make Barrage pierce and have a greater attack speed. And then conceded on the amulet, which with the second wind, see we got a barrier there. With the second wind, we will get that damage. Somebody asked why I don't use bursting venoms, because bursting venoms sucks. It doesn't do a whole lot of damage. You have 0 reason to need to have unlimited poison whenever you already pretty much do. Okay, that's all of our gear. Over to the skill tree. Basic doesn't matter. We only have 1 point in Barrage, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe 2. Because it doesn't really matter too much. We're mostly doing poison damage. And then up to improve Barrage to make enemies vulnerable. And Barrage's ricochet chances increase to 100% damage to vulnerable enemies, or when you critically strike an enemy, so it just pretty much always ricochets. It's 30 for damage reduction from close, pretty self-explanatory. I don't run this normally. Actually, I run this. I was just doing a challenge with Lilith or whatever, and I want to be able to dash from her little orb thingies, but we run caltrips. And then we go up here just to get that extra damage. This pretty much only matters when you're fighting like bosses and stuff, because you'll get 45% multiplicative damage, which is a lot of damage. Just throw it on a boss. And then unstable elixirs. Oh, on the amulet, I didn't explain. Lucky hit chance. Alchemical damage or advantage is the thing that'll give you, whenever you poison an enemy, it'll increase your attack speed. That's the part that matters. Then unstable elixir. So technically, you could get rid of this lucky hit chance and get frigid finesse, but that's going to take a lot of gold and or luck, so I just didn't do it. And I think unstable elixirs is better because this will help you with damage to bosses. So since you can't chill or freeze a boss, then frigid finesse is useless there, but unstable elixirs just gives you overall plus damage. So that, in my opinion, is significantly better. What is it? Yeah, hold on. It goes from 18% to 54%, so you just get like 40% damage. Here in a Dark Shroud, up to countering Dark Shroud, just so our Umbrus will trigger, give us damage reduction. Pretty much everybody knows that. Agile, just to increase dodge chance. Poison Trap, this is a subterfuge skill, so it will trigger the Umbercrux, and also when enemies are standing inside this, it will deal 15 times damage to them, which is nice. Of course, Exploit Malice, there's just a bunch of damage. Okay, so one guy was like, how do you always have your, how's my poison imbuement just pretty much infinite? And it's because of this here, mixed poison imbuement. You have lucky hit chance, 30% chance to reduce the cooldown of poison imbuement by 2 seconds. So as long as you keep pressing poison imbuement, you can just keep on doing it. Plus the, I'm pretty sure the, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, no, so the helmet doesn't trigger it, but as long as you keep poison imbuing. There we go. It just keeps refilling it. All right. Oh, and we use preparation for obvious reasons. Every 75 energy will reduce the cooldown of the ultimate by that, and whenever you wait 5 seconds, yeah, okay. And then ultimate skills reset cooldowns and give you 15% damage reduction. It's pretty self-explanatory, I think. Where are we at? And then of course we want 3 in a deadly venom. I remember when deadly venom was like super busted in season 1. Everybody was running deadly venom, twisting blades rogue in PvP, and it was really, really fucking annoying. Debilitating toxins, you could try to squeeze this in if you wanted to. I'm not really that worried about it. And then alchemical advantage, which is what I was talking about a minute ago. Attack speed and lucky hit chance is increased. So we just have that on our amulet. I think every build runs this on the amulet. 3 into frigid finesse, the thing where it gives you 50% increased damage to chilled enemies and then frozen enemies, which is why with the gloves and the pants having freeze and then damage or just apply crowd control, you'll put that on there for like general mobs and stuff. I explained why we chose Shadow Clone over Death Trap, and obviously coming up here to Shadow Clone deals 20% of my damage, and then this right here to give you the Unstoppable. Innervation. So somebody asked how I have unlimited energy. If I'm back this way, and I'm just shooting at one enemy, my energy, okay, it's still coming back actually. If I just shoot into a wall, it's not going to happen, all right? Between this giving you the cost of your primary resource going down, Innervation is the thing that it'll lucky hit chance to give you energy, right? Right here. Up to 50% chance to gain 8 energy. So with all the lucky hit chance procs, you just pretty much have unlimited energy. The closer you are to enemies, the better you are. But if you only have like one enemy and they're at a distance, wait, is that not? Oh, single training dummy. It doesn't work quite as well. Which is why you see me when I'm trying to get that straggler in the infernal hordes, where it's just, this doesn't work. But as long as you have multiple enemies, you'll just... Alright. Non-physical damage has increased lucky hit chance to proc all our lucky hit stuff. We already went over second wind. And then, of course, close quarters combat. We won't ever get the cutthroat skill one, but we do get the marksman one, which just gives us fast attack speed. Over to the Paragon. So we have control, that's pretty explanatory, slowed chilled enemies, or stunned and frozen enemies take extra damage, and then we do extra damage to crowd controlled enemies, which will help with the gloves and all that, and the chance to daze and all that stuff. This just gives us extra damage. I already explained how no witnesses works, which is because of no witnesses, we come over here, grab this ultimate damage and attack speed, this ultimate damage over here. Not worried about the critical strike damage, but unfortunately we had to grab it. Okay, and then in here we have efficacy, which is where I don't see a lot of people run this, because I took what the general build was and completely stripped it down, and then optimized the way that the boards are shaped and stuff. I was able to squeeze in this as a glyph, so that's awesome. The reason efficacy works on this board, by the way, in case anybody doesn't know, for some reason this node right here gives plus intelligence, this rare node. So efficacy boosts 125% to 125% to all rare nodes. So you only need to grab this plus 1 intelligence node, and you'll hit that. Imbuement skills have 20 times increased potency. And then it'll also boost this to give you a bunch of extra max life. Pretty much you just come through here like a little S. Boom, we go this way and grab all of this stuff, and then we go this way. A lot of people try to grab this stuff. I don't really care that much. I come up here, grab this ultimate damage and attack speed, grab the node, get out of here, right? Drink real quick. Fluidity. So a lot of people, since damage to crowd control does matter in this build, what they'll do is they'll come down here and they'll grab this and they'll come up here and then they go through here and then they add something that's not fluidity in this board. It takes so many extra nodes to do that. I don't feel like it's worth it. So let's see. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 to get to here, right? Plus whatever we got going on here. Let's just call it until we can get to either. Let's just count them both till they can both get here. Okay, because it'll just depend. Because if you're running something with intelligence, then you would grab this node. Otherwise, you wouldn't. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, right? And then from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Did I do that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It just takes up so many more. I just put fluidity in here, and it'll boost these here and make up. It won't make up all of it, but it makes up most of it, and it just gives us extra nodes, okay? And you're going to run fluidity anyway, because anytime you use an agility skill, which will be caltrips, then yeah. Sorry, itching my nose there. Totally not snorting coke or anything. Cheap shot for each nearby crowd-controlled enemy. You deal a bunch of extra damage, and then staggered bosses, you deal the total amount to them. This is just crowd control damage here. Come up through here, go through here, and then this is damage reduction from elites. We do come and grab this stuff because it's just nice. Coming down through here. Canny, non-physical damage increases all the non-physical damage an enemy takes from you up to 10%. So poison is non-physical damage, so pretty much you'll just always have that 10% unless something just dies sooner, which then why does it matter? And then coming over here to Eldritch Bounty, which just gives you 20% increased damage for Imbuement's element with poison. Come this way, I've seen a lot of people here. The original board I saw for this poison rogue, the guy came out through here, came this way just to grab this like max life, I guess. Came down this way and then grabbed this because it is the shortest route to get to here. Completely ignored this. I don't like that. I don't like coming to a board and ignoring the glyph if I don't have to. So we come out from this angle, come up through here. This stuff, it's not like this is useless. This gives you a bunch of damage to elites. Right here, these three. And then you come over here, grab this, and it only costs like 5 or 6 extra nodes compared to here, but it also allows us to go here and grab this glyph. And we just have tracker in here because like we can just make a quick little path. I'll come down through here. We got to put one here, but that's fine. And go this way, and like yeah, here we go. Right. And then lastly, and the last thing of the video, I think I'm gonna go over it all. Coming down here to grab Deadly Ambush, which we already explained. And we have Bane in here because it's just a straight path. I mean, I go boom. Pretty simple, right? The original build I saw here, he went this way, grabbed this, which gives trap cooldown by like 6.2 seconds, which is like, if you're lucky, half a second. So I'm not going to waste a bunch of nodes to do that. Especially since my Umbercrux has, I think 7.8 seconds. So I purposely got a long Umbercrux on the affix instead of worrying about the legendary affix, instead of worrying about the general affixes, right? General affixes would be nice, but mostly just, you know. Anyway, it takes like 22 nodes versus 20. Go this way. I'm pretty sure is what it was. That's pretty much it, I do believe. A little stinker over there. I'm pretty sure we covered everything here. I just wanted to make this video real quick because I have an appointment today, so I can't really play much anyway to make other videos. I gotta go on like take me like 2 hours to get there and back, plus however long it takes there. Gotta haul the kiddo and all that stuff. So figured I'd just make this video, especially since I've had a bunch of people asking me how certain things work. So here's this, explaining everything about the build. I'm pretty sure we hit everything. If we didn't, just ask me below. And yeah, I think that's it. So I appreciate anybody that watched, and have a fantastic rest of your day. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all the generic YouTube stuff, and I will catch you guys in the next one.